Welcome to Sens Talk. Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I am your host tonight. Your Ottawa Senators took on the Toronto Maple Leafs in game number 6 of the Battle of Ontario in yet another elimination game for your Ottawa Senators. You know, I was thinking before the game, the Leafs usually fall in the fall. Go figure, right? But it would be pretty awesome if the Leafs fell, I should say, in the spring. Well, the rain is falling, the tears may be falling, but the Leafs are not. The Leafs are moving on, and the Ottawa Senators are not. As the Ottawa Senators fell today to the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-2 in a heartbreaker. We'll break it down in this video. And by the way, I'm going to do a full series breakdown in the coming days. I'm working on an interview right now. Should have that locked up. So an interview plus, video to break down this whole series. It was an incredible series, an absolute classic. I mean, wow, what a series this was. And kudos to the Leafs. They won this one, obviously. But what a series. I mean, instant classic. Absolutely reignited one of the best rivalries in the sport. And it was just so awesome to, I remember kind of the Battle of Ontario. Like, I heard stories, right? But I never really got to experience it. It was very cool to be able to experience the Battle of Ontario in all its glory. So that was a lot of fun. And again, the best part about everything, hockey aside, is getting to do these videos and getting to talk to all you guys in the comments and, on Twitter, on Instagram. Just the love that you guys show to me and my coverage and our coverage here at Sens Talk is just so unbelievable. So I have so many emotions going on right now. I know I'm going on a bunch of different spots, but just stick with me. I'm going to get through this and we'll get to the video recap. But just such an incredible season. What an incredible series. And the most fun I've had covering this team since 2017, since I was in high school. And a lot of that goes to you guys and to the team as well. Kudos to the Ottawa Senators, the players, the coaching staff, the management, the media, the communications, the medical staff, everyone in the organization. It just felt different this year. It just felt different from the top to Andlauer to the bottom to, whoever's at the bottom. It just felt different. And they really took that best-in-class label and they really, meant it. And you felt it this year. And, you can feel the buzz in the city again. You can feel the buzz surrounding this hockey team. You can feel it. And that's such a beautiful feeling. And that's why I'm so proud of this team. We didn't get the result we wanted. I wanted to fill in a couple more of these Laurels. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I was hoping, I was praying I could fill in those couple more. I had a whole thing planned. We were going to go to Sens Mile, my buddies and I, after this game. Get some cool coverage there and some content for you guys. But I guess we'll have to save that for another year. But again, just so much fun. And again, it felt so different. This team felt so different this year. And, I think kudos again really has to go to Travis Green and, the rest of the coaching staff and the management. Just to mature this team in such a rapid fashion. To get them to this playoff level, to get them to be able to battle back in the series like they did. It's incredible. This team compared to last year, unrecognizable, the two. There's just no comparable between the two other than the names on the jerseys. Straight up, kudos to Travis Green. He's turned around this program like that. Same with Steve Stais and Andlauer and everyone in between. So on the hockey side of things, the future is so, so, so bright. We have some cap space being freed up. Some guys are going to either be leaving. Some guys like Giroux are going to stay, but going to sign for less. Cap's going to go up itself as well. Got some money to spend here. We got an owner willing to spend. So a lot to be optimistic about. There's a lot of good with this current core. And now you can build within it. You got some pieces coming in like Yakimchuk and Levi Marilainen. But then you can also insulate and build around it with some free agent pickups and whatnot, which of course we'll be covering here on youtube.com/SensTalk. Just because the Senator season is over doesn't mean we're done. No. You're going to see at least 2-3 videos probably a week moving forward still. So still in regular season mode. We never take a day off here basically, but the Senators are done for the year. And again, thank you to all of you. I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here. A few minutes. I don't care. I'm just talking from the heart. I don't really care. I'm sure many of you just kind of want to, just you don't want this video to end just like you don't want the season to end, right? And I'm just going to talk as long as I can because once this video is done, the season really is done, you know what I mean? So, and that kind of just hit hard, I'm not going to lie. So, again, incredible year. So much to be proud of. And again, it's kind of like, I'm not comparing it to 2017, but after 2017, I was disappointed, but I was so proud. I was so proud, and I was sure that they were going to be back. We know how that turned out. And I'm sure that this team will be back, and we'll see how that turns out. But one thing's for certain, I'm not taking this for granted. After 8 years, it was just so incredible to be back. And I pray that we're back next year. I think we will be. We'll see what happens. But that barn tonight and in this series was incredible. One of the loudest arenas you've heard in the playoffs in years. There was guys around the National Hockey League talking about it. I mean, the Sens army is back. Again, you can feel it in the city. You can feel it around this team and this fan base. Something is different. And it's a beautiful feeling. And I'm going to miss it for the next little bit here. Obviously, we have some off-season coverage coming. But, again, it hurts right now, Sens Army. And I know you guys watching this are hurting, just like me. But there's so much to be proud of. There's so much to be proud of. And we pushed the Leafs to the brink. And we really pushed them around when it didn't look like we were going to be able to do that at all. And the character that this team showed, again, to just bounce back after last year with a new coaching staff, just to completely round into a mature form. And then to battle back in this series, it exactly shows the character of this team. The cardiac Sens, baby. The cardiac Sens. And they almost did it again today, and we'll talk about it. But, damn, I love this team. Sens forever. Sens forever. Sens forever. Sens forever. Sens forever. Sens forever. Just love this damn team. And it's always go, Sens go, baby. It's always go, Sens go. And, again, thank you to all of you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I've been doing this coverage. I've been doing Sens Talk for 13 years. You can literally go back to my oldest video and literally from that to now and just see me grow up. It's insane. From the buzz cut and the high-pitched voice to, you know, whatever this stash is and the flow and the, I guess, deeper voice. This has been a big part of my life. And you guys, in a way, of course, because of that, are a part of my life too. So thank you so very much. I don't know many of you, of course. Obviously, whenever I get to meet you guys, it's a pleasure. But just know that every single one of you is appreciated. And I genuinely mean that. Because, again, like I said, the comments, the replies, just getting to talk to you guys is so much fun in the comment section as usual. But even if you don't comment and you're just watching or whatever, you just watch my stuff, follow, like, whatever. You mean the world to me, genuinely, because you allow me to do what I do. And what I do is something that I love. I don't take it for granted. It means the world to me. It's an honor to be able to cover this team independently and in my way. And the fact that you guys love my coverage and the way I do things, I'm not going to cry on camera here, but it makes you want to cry, that's for sure. So, thank you. I love you all. And I guess we should jump into the recap. I guess, like I said, once this video is done, I guess the season's done. So I'm going to try to extend this as long as possible. But let's get into the game recap, shall we? So, love you all. Honestly, love you all. Genuinely, love you all. Love this team. This fan base is incredible. The chance tonight, the energy in this series and throughout the year. We'll be back, but wow. Just, it reminds you of why you love watching this beautiful game. The best game on the planet. By far. So going to this game, the Leafs, you know, I was starting to believe. I predicted at the beginning of the season, the series, that Sens in 7. We were going to win it. Sens in 7, baby. And I started to really believe it after that Game 5 win. Going into this game, the Leafs are 1-13 in elimination games with this core. So, I mean, it's looking pretty good for Ottawa. The Leafs, a talented team, just can't close it out for some reason. Going to this one, well, Ottawa is a 26-team all-time in NHL history to force a series to Game 6. After being down 3-0. If they go and tie up this series with a win tonight, they would have been the 11th team all-time to tie the series at 3 after being down by 3. So already some history, but looking to get really into the history books there. And they almost did it. Genuinely, they almost did it. So lineup changes, and that's what you get with experienced coaching like with Berube. I mean, you got to just tip the cap to the Leafs on that one. Because Pacioretty's the one that comes in for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and remember that name. Just remember that name. And then for the Ottawa Senators, there's no changes. Same lineup. And I'm more than happy with that because stick with what works. Now, guess they're not happy. I don't know if you heard the honking out there. Yeah, they don't seem happy. I don't know what the hell's going on out there. Maybe they're angry Sens fans. Can't blame them. Can't blame them. I'd be upset too after, such an up and down game. But also be proud. Don't be upset. Be proud. Be proud of this team. There's so much to look forward to, and there's so much to be proud of. But before we get into the recap, I just want to say thank you to Dylan Puckniak and Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment for sponsoring Sens Talk. Sens Talk is proudly presented by Dylan Puckniak, Ottawa's exclusive realtor with Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment, providing a bilingual real estate service that serves the Ottawa-Gatineau community. Dylan Puckniak is also specialized in supporting professional athletes that come and go in our city, providing service that takes care of the people at the highest level. For realtor experience that puts you and your needs first, visit dylanpuckniak.kw.com to find out more today. Sorry, just getting a little emotional here. I need some water to get me back into the game. So to the first period of play we go, and yikes, not the greatest start to the game, not going to lie. Leafs are definitely the better team, Ottawa. I don't want to call them rattled because they're getting, zone possession, but they're not getting shots on net, and the Leafs are doing a very, very good job at forcing Ottawa to the outside and not really letting them get any shots on net. They had some good blocks early on in that first period as well. And then they would have a power play, Ottawa would. 8 minutes into the first period, terrible. I think the Leafs had more possession on that power play than Ottawa, so we wouldn't score there. With a couple of minutes left, Tim Stützle, great look. He was flying tonight, and, he's such a special player, and the special players are the ones that you need to, come up in the big moments, and he certainly was pushing for that big moment. No doubt about it. He was fantastic tonight. I mean, absolutely flying, literally doing everything he could to will this team to victory. But unfortunately, a minute later, this is how it always goes in the playoffs and in hockey. You get chance one way, you don't score. You go back the other way, and they score, and that's exactly what happens here. After Ottawa with a great chance, there would be a dumb penalty here by Brady Tkachuk. Just have to have much more discipline here from your captain. Just, I think he would say that, right? I don't need to harp on it. Tkachuk had a hell of a series. I mean, holy cow. 4 goals. 7 points. I mean, what a series for Brady Tkachuk. Mistakes happen. You play hard. That's going to happen at times. There's a costly error at the worst time, and of course, goes in the back of your net. So you get a bad penalty, and you get a goal that probably should be stopped. All Mark would tell you, that puck should be stopped. It was along the ice. Just beat him on the right pad, just past the skate. I mean, yeah, that just sucks. So, bit of a backbreaker to close out the first period as the Leafs lead 1-0 on the power play goal. After 20 minutes of play. Ottawa, by the way, only had 3 shots in that first period of play. If you're going to win hockey games, you're going to have to get more than 3 shots. That's been a big issue the last few games for Ottawa, and it continues there in the first period. But into the second period of play, Ottawa would start to push. Again, we'll talk about it at the end of this period here. They still need more shots, but it's a start. But unfortunately, less than a minute into the second period of play, not a great start for Ottawa. The Leafs strike again to make it 2-0. Jensen here, he could have just passed it back to his D-man partner, and then the guy could have flicked it off the boards, could have went back into his zone and kind of reset. Could have done anything else than what Jensen did here. And Jensen has been so integral to this team all season. He's clearly battling a very nasty injury because he's not been himself this playoff series. This was a bad mistake here. A turnover goes right to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and on the transition, Nylander rips it low blocker side to make it a 2-0 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ottawa, right after that, though, I liked the battle back by the Ottawa Senators and the response right away. They came back hard. They came back fighting. They came back and pushed. They got some good chances, and one of those chances would go into the back of the net. How about that, right? 7 minutes into the game, Thomas Chabot from the point takes a shot, and El Capitano tips it home, and Ottawa is down by 1. Of course, it's the captain, Captain Clutch, Brady Tkachuk with his 4th goal of the series, brings Ottawa to within one. As usual, when Ottawa needed a hero, it is their captain. As Ottawa, after 40 minutes of play, finds themselves only down by a goal. It's 2-1. Shots are 16-11 for Toronto. So Toronto only had a few shots there in the second. Ottawa had the majority of the shots, but again, only 11 after 2 periods. Have to be better. But again, Ottawa had some great pushback after that second goal, and they had all the reason to cave and die. You give up a goal late in the first, you give up a goal late, early in the second. C'est la vie, right? No. Cardiac Sens. Never say die, Ottawa Senators. Sens forever. They never go out without a fight. Now, obviously, the Ottawa Senators season is done. And that means they're going to be golfing. That means we're going to be golfing. So what better as the golf season approaches than to work on your game at Ottawa's premier golf simulator bar, The Bunker. As Sens Talk is brought to you by The Bunker, Ottawa's premier golf simulator bar. Whether you're working on your game or just looking for a fun outing with friends, The Bunker offers a welcoming atmosphere, knowledgeable staff, great drinks, and a top-tier golfing experience. Make sure to visit one of their 2 locations, either in the heart of the Glebe or in the East End, just off the Anderson Road exit. Book your tee time today at golfbunker.ca. So let's get to the third period of play, the biggest period of the Ottawa Senators season. Obviously, going into it down by a goal. I was so nervous. I'm sure all of you were too. Yeah, last period. Wow. Oh, it hurts. I'm so proud of the team. So proud of the team. But I love making these videos. I told you, I've been doing a recap after every single Sens game for 13 plus years. It's a part of me. You guys are a part of me too. You know, this community is a part of me. I love you all so much. And it sucks when it comes to an end. Well, again, we're doing off-season stuff, and we're going to be sticking around doing plenty of stuff for you guys. But you get what I mean. It just, And Leaf fans watching this, hate watching. Firstly, thanks for the engagement. Appreciate you. Secondly, I hope you're enjoying the video. In all honesty, hell of a battle. And the fact that the Battle of Ontario is back is beautiful for the game of hockey. And good game. Good series. But anyways, to the third period of play we go. And man, I don't want this to be over. I don't want it to be over. Sorry, Sparty. He doesn't want it to be over too. He's agreeing, right, Sparty? We don't want it to be over? Whoa. Okay. Well, let's avoid another catastrophe tonight, shall we? Sorry about that. So to the third period we go. Let's do it. We gotta do it. We gotta cover it. We gotta talk about it. So here we go. To the third period we go. Not much going on early on in the third. Ottawa, they're playing on their heels. Can't really complete any passes other than Tim Stützle, who's literally dancing. I mean, holy cow, especially right away in the third period. He was all over it. I mean, holy cow. It's unbelievable how good he was. I don't know how he didn't score, honestly. Like, he was so good. What a player this guy is. Him and Sanderson. And we'll talk about some of the standouts quickly at the end of this video and my series recap in the next few days here. But again, wow. I mean, just wow. Just what a game there for Timmy, and just a hell of a player. And, again, I mentioned it earlier with Travis Green and whatnot. The maturity of this team, specifically with a guy like Tim Stützle in his own zone, was so impressive. And it was very evident again tonight where, honestly, they should have been double shifting them. I think Locked On guys were saying that too, and I completely agree with them because that guy was flying. And if Ottawa wanted any chance to win this game and come back, Tim Stützle was going to be the reason why that was going to happen. He was so good. I'm just pulling up his stats here. I just want to take a look while we're on the topic, just so I don't forget later. I mean, Tim Stützle tonight, it's insane how he didn't get a point, but he played just over 20 minutes of ice time, 3 shots, 6 hits. He was thrown around the body, 1 block. But the face-off was an issue tonight, 42% for him. Ottawa tonight in the face-off circle was just terrible. And we'll talk about that later, but that was definitely a negative side of the game. But in terms of his offensive push, I mean, it didn't produce anything, unfortunately, but again, he was all over it, and frankly, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he didn't get anything on the score sheet. But speaking of getting on the score sheet, Ottawa finds themselves on the power play with less than 10 minutes to go. Probably the worst power play I've seen. I want to puke. Even thinking about it. The Leafs controlled that power play. We got maybe 1 shot in the final second. It was Zetterlund on a ricochet kind of shot where he was kind of spinning around, just got it on net. Not a really good look, so that was aggravating to say the least. In a pivotal moment where It looked like the season was kind of, coming to a close, right? You got to find a way, to tie it up here. And they do just that. David Perron, DP 57. This is one of those players like Adam Gaudette, like Tyler Clevin, who has come clutch time and time and time and time again in this playoffs. And another huge goal for David Perron. Another huge tying goal, I should say, for David Perron. As just as the power play expires, as he throws it on in, it bounces off, Stolarz it in. A wacky goal, ties it up at 2. And the Canadian Tire Center goes feral. They go insane. The building absolutely erupts. The city of Ottawa stands on their feet as David Perron ties it up at 2-2 with 7 minutes to go in the third period of play. The Cardiac Sens, they do it again, baby. They do it again. Oh, wait. They really did do it again. Not even 2 minutes later. And I will just say that David Perron goal probably had the biggest pop in the CTC all year. And I'll certainly be watching back that goal. I'll probably stop the highlights of that, though, because the rest I'd like to forget because it's not the way I wanted it to go. And remember I told you to remember the guy Max Pacioretty? If you're a longtime Sens fan, you know that name. He was a great player on the Montreal Canadiens. Well, he was back in the lineup tonight. He's been off and on for the Leafs. Hasn't scored in a bit of time, and comes clutch here for them and gets it done. And again, that's what makes the difference sometimes in a series. You have a coach like that knows that a veteran like that can do what he just did there, and it's tough. As Pacioretty roofs it through traffic, left alone at the top of the hash mark, to retake the lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's a 3-2 game. The second line, who was brutal tonight, Batherson and Cousins in particular, floating around on that goal. A lot of bodies up front. And the Leafs strike to take the lead right back. Ottawa would push in the final few minutes. Wouldn't really get any good looks, to be honest with you, though. The Leafs would miss an empty net in the final 40 seconds. It would hit the side of the net. They would shoot it in our zone, go back the other way, and it barely didn't go in. I thought it was done for sure. Lose the face-off, lose the possession. Leafs go back the other way. Dielander gets hooked. They call the penalty. Of course, it's going to be a goal anyways, but he puts it in. To ice the game and to ice the series. As the Toronto Maple Leafs win the game 4-2. They win the series 4-2. Sens lose the series 4-2. And are going to move on to face the Florida Panthers in round number 2. So, let's go Kachuk. I'll just leave it at that. Let's go Kachuk. But that's it. That's it. C'est la vie. It's over. It's over. It's done. And what can you do? C'est la vie, right? What a year. Honestly, just what a year. I have not had this much fun watching the Ottawa Senators for so long. And, again, covering the teams in 2019 and 2020 and 2021, years of disappointment and just garbage, frankly, was worth it for this run, this incredible series, and run. And you might comment down below and say, "What run? You lost in 6." This entire season felt like one big playoff run, to be honest with you. And it was awesome to be able to get there, and to be able to push it to 6, get back to your barn for a final game, and kudos to the crowd. I mean, wow, they were chanting "Go Sens." And the crowd tonight was insane, by the way. Marner's leaving, Matthews is balding, Brady's better, "Go Sens, go" every 2 seconds. And they stick around here in the final, after the final whistle and the final horn goes. After the handshake line, Matthews and Brady gives each other mad respect, which was incredible. Just great to see two top American talents give respect to one another. And the handshake line is just one of the best traditions in hockey, without a doubt. Just to see the mutual respect there. And there is a lot of mutual respect. Maybe not for the fan bases right now, but I can respect a team like the Leafs who played a hell of a series too. Even though I hate them and I hate their fan base, I can respect a team that does something well. And, it was a chippy affair. It was a battle. It was certainly a battle of Ontario. And as I already said, it was great to have this series back to reignite such a great rivalry between two cities here in a fantastic province, right? So, again, it sucks. It's brutal. We were never the favorites going into the series. The Leafs are the Atlantic Division winners, and ultimately, the result that was supposed to happen happened, but doesn't make it hurt any less, right? I mean, again, you love being the underdog. You love proving people wrong. And again, we prove people wrong just to get to Game 6, right? So again, to have that crowd there for this was so awesome. To have them, send off the boys properly was great. And that barn tonight was like 90-10 ratio for Sens fans. I mean, literally. And Leaf fans are always like, wow, Sens fans, oh, you're shocked there's Sens fans in your building for a playoff game. Well, it's not that. It's just you're in between Toronto and Montreal. There's going to be a lot of those fans. Especially since we're a newer franchise. So the fact that we kept all of you guys basically out of the barn shows how passionate this fan base is, especially considering how expensive tickets are there in Toronto and not exactly the case here in Ottawa comparably. So again, kudos to the Sens Army for really showing out, showing the love, showing the support, showing that passion, showing that energy all year, but especially in this playoff series. Now, before we get to the rest of the game notes, I just want to say thank you to Keep Smoked Meats for sponsoring Sens Talk. And Sens Talk is brought to you by Keep Smoked Meats, the best smoked meat in the Ottawa area. During a process that takes over 150 hours while using the highest grade beef, Keep Smoked Meats smokes their meat on top of a mix of Southern American charcoal and Keith's signature flavored wood chips, leaving you with a savory Montreal-inspired smoked meat. But the best part, getting it is so easy. Just go to keepsmokedmeats.com, find the smoked meat package you're looking for, press order, and boom. Within days, you'll have freshly made, locally produced smoked meat dropped off right at your doorstep. So check out keepsmokedmeats.com for the best tasting smoked meat experience in Ottawa today. Now with that, just a few notes just to talk about the game quickly here. So obviously, face-offs were a huge issue for Ottawa all series. And again, they lost the face-off battle tonight. 140%, just not going to cut it. It's going to be tough to maintain possession and get offensive opportunities when you can't win faceoffs, particularly when you're in their offensive zone. The penalty kill tonight did not do great, obviously, on their one opportunity to kill it off. They didn't. But again, that goal I can't really blame them for. That was one that Allmark obviously wants back. And most importantly, I think it does need to be noted, the Sens' discipline after Game 1 was commendable. And they really locked it up after that. And that really just, again, shows and really plays off of the maturity that they've espoused in this series in such a short time, but also just, again, throughout the entire year, the way they've grown. So, obviously, it's negative that they scored on the power play, but it's positive that they only had one opportunity to even score on the power play to begin with. Hits were 56-43 in favor of Ottawa and block shots 16-11 in favor of the Leafs. The Leafs had 23 giveaways, Ottawa only had 10, so it's a little shocking in that aspect because I think the Leafs actually played a pretty clean game overall. I think both teams played a pretty clean game. I think Ottawa gave up a couple too many chances. There was a few opportunities that the Leafs squandered where they hit the post, and Ottawa is very thankful for that. But that's playoff hockey. Not everything's going to go in. You're going to get bounces that go your way, don't go your way. Ultimately, it doesn't matter for the Leafs. They won the game anyways. Linus Allmark tonight had a very... the numbers don't look great. 864 save percentage, 22 shots faced, 19 saves on 22. Other than the first, I think he had a very good game. I think he made some 10-bell stops, and I think he gave us a chance to win this game. The blue line for the Ottawa Senators all series was fantastic. Tyler Kleven in particular tonight and all series was unreal. 4 hits today, 1 block, 1 shot as well, 17 minutes of ice time. This guy's a top 4 defenseman, potentially even next year. He's been so good. But guys like Artem Zub as well deserve praise. Manapalo on that third pairing with Kleven looked fantastic. 3 blocks for him tonight. Shabbat 4 hits, 4 shots on goal and a block. He was fantastic. 26 minutes of ice time. Sanderson 5 minutes less than Shabbat. A little bit surprising there. 21 minutes, 2 blocks, a hit as well. He was fantastic. All the blue liners were great. Jensen, I think he had a good year. The series, not so much. I think he did the best he can. It's not really his fault. He's battling an absolutely gruesome injury. So kudos to Jensen for just battling through it to begin with. Without him, our blue line definitely would have been in a much worse situation to begin with. Even if he didn't have his best playoff series, he still did better than probably what the alternatives were. But yeah, so that's it. It's over. It's done. And again, I just want to say thank you to all of you for all your support through the year and through the years, for allowing me to do what I do, to cover this hockey team that we all love. It's an honor. It's a dream of a lifetime. It's not something I take for granted, and I appreciate it every single day I get to do it. So thank you all so very much for your support. I love you all very, very much, and kudos to the Sens organization again for a fantastic year. I'm very excited to see what they do in the offseason here. You have some extensions to do. You got Pinto up. You got, Clevin potentially. You got Claude Giroux, of course. Adam Gaudette, Levi Marilainen, and the list goes on. So a lot of stuff to do this offseason. We'll talk about that later on, of course. But kudos to the team. It just felt different this year. Kudos to the Sens Talk team as well. Orion Taylor, Jamie Dean, Trent Reynard, Noah Balkovich, Thomas Laverson, and the list goes on. So many great graphic designers and editors and whatnot that helped me, put together some great thumbnails. Most of the thumbnails are mine, of course, but, the graphics you see after every game, the player cards and whatnot, the game day graphics, the post-game graphics, the trade graphics, everything, the graphics, the hype-up videos, the intro. Shout out to the team. The Sens Talk team really helps me do what I do here. So thank you to all of them as well for tireless work and passionate work. I really, really appreciate you all, and we have the best team here without a doubt. Without a doubt. I love you all very, very much, and you're integral to Sens Talk and to what we do here. And the last thank you goes to all of you, again, for sticking it out throughout this entire video and throughout this entire season and series. It's been the opportunity of a lifetime to be able to cover Senators playoff hockey yet again. I'm hoping we get to do it again next year and the year after that and the year after that and the year after that, and the list goes on. But an incredible season. Comes short, sure, but there's a lot to build off, a lot to be proud of. And with that, I'll talk to you all very, very soon. I love you all very, very much. And I think there's only one way to close this out. There's only one way to close this out. It's with our beloved Danger Flutes. Ba, 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 ba. What a season. What a season. And it only feels right to do the Danger Flutes one last time, baby. One last time. Go, Sens, go. Go, Sens, go. Go, Sens, go. I love you all, man. I love this team. I love this city. And I can't wait to run it back next year. But, wow. It really does suck. It really hurts that it's coming to a close here. But, again, you get to do it. You get to finish it off, in front of your home crowd. And that's just the best way to finish it off. You know what I mean? So, it doesn't get better with that. So, with that, I'm going to finish off this Danger Flutes here. And I'll see you all very, very soon. For the Senators series recap video. You know what? Screw it. What's an extra minute or two? I'm just going to stay for the rest of the Danger Flutes. We'll just listen to it together to wrap up the season. I know this video is ridiculously long, but whatever. I don't care. I don't care what time this video is at. I'm going to stay up and happily edit it. Again, I don't want this video to end because that means the season's done. You know what I mean? But, I love you all, man. Honestly, I really do. The fan base is so much fun. It made the tough years fun. And now that we're good again, we're back, baby. That's all I got to say. We're back. We're going to be back. And it's great to see the city revving up the red. Ba, ba, ba. That's it. Go Sens go, baby. Go Sens go. I love you all so very much. I'll see you all very, very soon. And for the last time this season, go Sens go.